Welcome to meet the team of Global Networking G100. We are very honored and very delighted today to have Belinda with us. Thank you so much for joining us today, Belinda, and welcome. Would you care to share with our listener, with our community, what is it that you do? What is it that you do in your personal life as well as your role in the G100 Global Networking?
Thank you so much, Bridget. Belinda Odhiambo. I know my second name is a bit tricky for you to pronounce, so I forgive you for that. Yes. I am the country chair for global networking, that is G100. And with that, I'm helping women here in Kenya and East Africa at large, and even the larger Africa, to expand their networks globally, because I believe in networking. Your network is your net worth. Yes, so because I believe in relationships, that is why I chose to join this wing, so that I would be able to help other women as well, even as I help myself. Because, if I don't help myself, I can't help other people. Yes. And what I do in my personal life, initially, it started as a hobby. I like helping other people to heal from their past heart wounds, as I thought they were called. But I later realized that it's trauma. Everyone is traumatized from their childhood, from their, even in their adulthood. We have traumas that we're dealing with, but we hardly address these issues. I am also a humanitarian actor. And yes, I'll soon be graduating as a humanitarian chaplain. The course is called Humanitarian Diplomatic Chaplaincy later this month. And I'll also be graduating as a trauma healer. So I'm a coach, yes. I'm a keynote speaker. I speak both locally and internationally. I am also a trainer in the corporate world. Yes, thank you so much. Back to you.
That is really wonderful, all that you do, and it is very true. Being a grief specialist, I would say I agree completely with you. Most of the time, people don't realize that all these things that happen in our life, and in this busy modern day world, we kind of like try to run, when many times we're like, oh, this happened, I'm going to power through that and keep pushing, which is very important for us to keep going, absolutely. And at the same time, it's add on little by little into our life, and it's influence how we do things moving forward and how we make decisions, because if we're have a the background trauma, running in trauma, that's definitely. But that, and congratulations on your upcoming, basically, here's graduation. Tell us more about what you do. I mean, you mentioned you are a coach and a trainer and a humanitarian chaplains. What do you do? What do you foresee doing with that? And tell us more about that.
Thank you so much. I'll be referring to you as Daktari. Daktari is doctor in Swahili. So if you see me call you Daktari, that is simply a Swahili name for a doctor. Yes. Daktari, what I do with coaching, I've been coaching people to transform from grief or from non-productiveness to becoming productive. And partly what causes people to be non-productive are the past traumas that they have, or the issues that are blocking their minds or their brains from thinking forward and thinking in a transformative way. So I've just been using that skill to help people to become better versions of themselves. I started with a training at Giant Worldwide United States. That is where I did my coaching course. But then I later realized that I'm more inclined towards helping people to heal, so that if they heal, they become better, they see clearly and make better decisions that can advance them in their vision or achieving what they want to achieve. And apart from that, why I chose to do humanitarian diplomatic chaplaincy is because as a chaplain of the humanitarian work, I have accessibility to the vulnerable people in the field. You must gain accessibility, especially in armed conflicts, in natural disasters. Even if an area infested by Ebola in Africa, we've had Ebola before in Congo, you can't just access those people. You can't just access people in Turkey or Syria if you are not a humanitarian actor or a humanitarian chaplain. So I want to be able to use my skills and expertise and at the same time pray with people regardless of their religious backgrounds. I am not discriminated. So that is why I chose to do that course or to pursue that course, so that I have accessibility to the people who are affected in the entire global society.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That is very honorable to be willing to do that. And yes, we are talking about access, but also it's a lot of work and depend if you travel there personally. You talk about earlier, regions that there's a lot of war. Your passions is children and women, and at the same time sometimes these are volatile area. And so thank you for your passions and compassions and your willingness to be doing all this to help. That is amazing. That is so beautiful. And as you say, you are the Kenya country chair of the global networking. How do you see the global networking community support you, and how do you see you as the Kenya country chair might be able to or envisions contributing to our community?
Those are two questions, and they're very key questions, right? How the global network, the entire global network of global networking can help or support Kenya. I have already started putting structures. I have constituted a team of 8 regional chairs, because we have 8 regions in Kenya. So I already have a team of 8 regional chairs, and I'm still approaching the right people for the advisory board. And I have a potential then in partner. So this team, they are a team of different experts. And I know that the global network can support us by, helping the Kenyan network also to expand themselves in terms of relationships, because some of them are serious entrepreneurs. They would love to reach the global market. And through this, I believe they are going to get a channel that will help them to get into the global markets. So my answer is just networking. I believe that is the only way for now. The immediate need is to help Kenya to expand their networks globally.
Right.
Yes.
Right, to develop more connectedness, in a way that That is, you mentioned earlier, a win-win manner. It's helpful for you, all the skill and the expertise each of and every one of us bringing to our community, and vice versa, the knowledge that you have. That is very beautiful. With your work as a trauma healer and humanitarians, all of us in here, and it's really it's everywhere in the world nowadays. Even us, with me being in the US, sometimes people say, oh, you are in the US, it's kind of almost like you're immune from all these things, which is as far from true as possible, right? But with all of us going through life, and as your knowledge as a trauma healer and an in humanitarian, is there a couple advice, a couple recommendation, a couple tips and tools from you as a trainer, as a coach, as a healer that you might want to share with our community as we continue in our journey on how to navigate the day to day, and how to be able to have all these things going on, and continuing to move forward and to serve forward?
Yes, first of all, I would love to advise everyone to acknowledge whenever they are grieving, acknowledge it. Acknowledgement is key. If you bypass it, it will catch up with you later, and it will be tragic, or it will be overwhelming. Whenever something sad or bad or unfortunate happens to you, kindly acknowledge it. After acknowledgement, then you can now act on it. There's acknowledgement, actually, you have to be aware. Awareness, acknowledgement, then action. You start with awareness. Are you aware of what's happening to you? Anytime you feel your emotions are drifting, you don't understand yourself, kindly try and locate what's different or what's happening to you that it is causing you to have a shift in your emotions. So once you become aware, then now you can acknowledge and make sure you say, indeed, this has happened to me and I need to work on it. I have lost a pregnancy, like myself. I lost 3 pregnancies. The first miscarriage happened at 7 months, almost term. The second one happened at 7.5 months, still almost term. And then after that, the third pregnancy, I gave birth. Yes, my boy is 2.5 years right now. And then the last pregnancy also was a miscarriage, which happened this year on June 11th at 3 months. But the first one, I had not accepted. I was not even aware of what was happening to me. I just knew I was feeling sad. So with time, because I was not aware, I ignored the feelings. But it really messed me up. It really messed me up. That's why I'm insisting over and over again, be aware of what's happening to you, then acknowledge. After acknowledging, then you can take action. You can go to a therapist. You can see a trauma healer. You can see a grief specialist that will help you to walk through. You don't have to do this alone. If you do it alone, you won't succeed. But watch out for people. There are people who can help you to heal and also to move forward, because you cannot move forward without healing. Healing is very key. If you heal, you'll be able to get lessons from this trauma and use these lessons to educate other people and also to get treasures for yourself. The Bible tells us in the book of Isaiah 45, verses 3, that the Lord will give us treasures in the dark, the hidden treasures. And these are the treasures we need to look for. Every trauma has a treasure. Every trauma has a treasure, but you cannot get the treasure if you don't heal. So the key is to heal first locate the treasures. These treasures are so unique because they are unique to you. And now you can use these treasures to make money as well. Thank you.
I love that. Firstly, I want to acknowledge and honor you and thank you for your openness and sharing with us your experience. We hold your openness in sharing your experience with utmost respect and honor. And definitely I would say that it's a beautiful advice, and I would completely agree, because we want to know, we have an awareness of what's going on. It kind of like you said, if you don't know what you're feeling and you just kind of like try to blind yourself or keep running or something, then if you don't know where you're starting, it's hard to know where you need to, what you need to do to go where you need to go, and to be aware, to acknowledge, and to act. And definitely Dr. Joe Dispenza, one of the teachers, you might have heard, some of us might have heard his name, he says that, like you said, when you heal your heart, and he's a mindset guru, right? But he says, when you heal your heart, you heal your mind. And then when you're able to heal your mind, you're able to heal every, other aspect of our life, whether whatever the cause of trauma, whether it's a physical, whether it's financial or something. And like you said, I love that, how it is in that trauma. In that trauma is the treasures. But if you are still in so much pain and reeling in pain, as I sometimes say it's hard to look for the treasures if you are you're screaming in pain. And so I love how you put it that way. And yeah, it's bringing it in a way that it's helping other, the way that you are, that it's brings you to help other, and tend to allow all of us to connect with you now. That is so beautiful. How do people connect with you if they'd like to learn more about what you do, both for Kenya Global Networking, as well as for your work as an individual?
If you want to connect with me on all social media platforms, Belinda Odhiambo on LinkedIn, Instagram, Belinda Odhiambo Official, on TikTok, Coach Belinda Odhiambo, that is on TikTok, and on Facebook, Belinda Odhiambo, on Twitter, Belinda Odhiambo. I believe I've covered all the social media platforms. And if there is someone who is also passionate about peace and peace advocacy, or supporting victims of war or the vulnerable in war zones, we'll be having a virtual auction for items. There are children in Kenya who have made specific items for peace, advocating for peace amongst the children, and we'll be selling those items online virtually on 12th of December. One has she has drawn 4 children from different races crying for peace. And the message that she is sending out is that without peace, children have no future. And then another one has done scarf. You know a scarf?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a scarf with peace signs.
Oh.
And he will be selling. It's a boy who did crocheting on his own, and he will be selling that. Others have done bags with the peace signs and emblems, and they will be selling them. Half of the money will be donated to organizations that work in the peace or the conflict zones, the areas that are conflict related or conflict affected. Yes, so if you're passionate about it, you can reach out to me. My email address is belinda.akinyi88@gmail.com. I believe I'll share that with you so that you get it right. So
Yeah.
reach out to us passionate about that. You never know, you might get an item that will, make your heart melt. Yes. So
Yeah.
that
Oh,
change the world, change the world in our own ways. We don't have to wait for United Nations because humanity starts with us.
I love that. I love how that is very true. Sometimes we wait for something big out there, but it's every person, every action. And thank you so much for sharing that. It's such a beautiful initiative. And with your permissions, I actually will share it on my pages, personal pages as well. I'm the president of the International Childhood Cancer Charity, and so I will share it there as well. But that is so beautiful, such a beautiful initiative. I'm sure that we all would love to participate, as you say, which is very true. Without peace, the children has no future. How would they learn? How would they grow? How would they progress? And so please join Belinda in this wonderful initiative. And as we complete our time together, do you have one final message for our listener?
Yes, I have my parting shot is that always be grateful. ABG, always be grateful. If you're grateful, you can overcome anything. Even in the worst day of your life, just start by saying thank you. If you say thank you, your emotions will change. Before you know it, your attitude will change and you will conquer anything. Always be grateful.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I love that. I ran a gratitude group on Facebook, and so how funny how life connect us, right? But joyful living, daily gratitude in and inspirations. But that is very true. And one thing I want to mention to our audience, and you know this, Belinda, sometimes people say, oh, being grateful is so Pollyanna when you have something going on, or it's like a spiritual bypass, but that is not true. You can be grateful, and as Belinda say, have an awareness of what's going on, and you can be grateful and acknowledge, yes, I'm having there is a war, there is a flood, and I'm grateful that I'm still alive. And it's I say being grateful is like it's allow in the midst of everything's going on, it's allow your heart to kind of like catch a breath. We can keep going on, so we can continue on. Well, thank you so much, Belinda. Thank you so much for your share, for all the insight and the tips, and sharing for us about these auctions that's coming up. Thank you so much. It's such an honor and a delight. Oh, and is that your book? Oh, okay. Tell us a little more about it.
It's the shortest book you'll ever read. It's a one-page book. It's on Amazon. It's about me when I was 5 years old. I went through a lot. I was malnourished, but by the grace of God, today I am where I am. And I use what I went through at that age to inspire lives today. It's called My Story at 5.
Oh, My Story at 5, it is available on Amazon. Thank you for sharing that with us. Please check that out. As we support each other, we support our in this community of sisterhood and brotherhood. And then also we'll put in the link. We'll put your email as well as the link of these auctions as well. And thank you so much. It's such an honor and a delight to have connect with you, Belinda. And for our audience and listener, please share one or two gold nuggets that you gain from these conversations with Belinda, so we can work here continuing to learn from each other and empower each other. And thank you again. This is Dr. Burjit Tan, U.S. Country Chairs Global Networking and Grief Specialist, and I'm such an honor to be with you again today. Thank you.